What's up, everybody? You're watching GameChat, the video game variety show right here on twitch.tv/borderline entertainment. However, if you find that you're watching this on YouTube or listening to it on podcast services, thank you as well. But we do have this show live on Twitch, so if you want the ultimate experience, that's the place to be. But anyways, we appreciate you for tuning in. I'm your host, Asa Green River. I am joined to my lovely left, Mr. Nate Pressler.
Hey, everyone.
And our special guest this week, to my righteous right, we've got Cam Hawkins from DualShockers. How you doing, man?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing solid. So hyped, so ready for this episode. I hope that you all in the chat are ready as well, because we're going to talk about all things games. If you don't know how this show works, I'll explain it to you in just a moment. But first, we need to talk about our special guest. Like I said, we've got Cameron Hawkins, but who is the man behind the myth? Cameron, tell us about yourself.
My name's Cameron Hawkins. I am a staff writer over at DualShockers.com. I went to the University of Nevada, Reno to get my bachelor's in journalism. And I love to talk about video games, and yeah, I'm excited to be here.
We're going to talk about video games all day, every day. That's what we do here on GameChat. All right, so how does the video game variety show work? A lot of people, they didn't grow up back in the day. I don't know about you, Nate, or Cam, but I'm in my 30s. I'm not going to say where I am in my 30s, but there was a distinct time on television where the variety show was king, where you had an hour, 2 hours, and through the show, they would take you through the gamut. You would have people doing trivia questions, you would have people doing challenges, then you would have interviews, and basically they would just take one solid theme and just celebrate that in that entire episode, and that's what we're doing here on Game Chat. Video games all the time, and we're going to kick things off with Newsbees. Now, if you don't know how Newsbees works on this show, basically what we do is I present news topics to the panel, and we rank them from extreme hype, definite intrigue, mild interest, and absolute boredom. So starting things off, we need to talk about Mixer. All right, I realize that for some people they're done talking about it. It's done and over with, but I haven't had a chance to talk about it with you two. So Mixer is done. It's kaput. Microsoft announced that they are ending the service, but not just ending it cold turkey. They are moving over to Facebook Gaming. Now, since the initial announcement, there have been more information that's been released. A lot of people worried, well, what about the partners and the streamers that have made that their livelihood? Are they just left out to the cold? Not exactly. Microsoft has offered those people to either take the program over to Facebook Gaming and be partners there. But then you have some of the bigger streamers like Ninja and Shroud that were contracted to Mixer that are now open to go wherever they choose. So they could go back to Twitch. They could be partners on Facebook Gaming. I know for those two big people that their decisions have not been announced yet. Gathalion is a big Destiny streamer. He did announce that he was going to stick with his partnership to Facebook Gaming. But Nate, what do you think about the cancellation of Mixer?
So, because it's kind of like a cancellation with a comma, so there's more to come from it, I'm interested in seeing what that means in the next 6 months, in the next year. So, I'm interested. I have some definite intrigue. I think it could be good. I think it's going to be one of those things where if we talk about Ninja kind of being a free agent now to go wherever, there's another kind of coin to that. Like, where does the dust settle?
Right. Because, like you said, with the comma, Microsoft did say that everything that they did with Mixer was vastly important to their plans for the future. This was very important for xCloud. And for those who don't know what xCloud is, it is their streaming service. Essentially, think about Stadia from Google and how you can play games anywhere, streaming on any type of device, well, with an asterisk. And then if you're watching somebody play that game on YouTube, you can click play, and then you're going to be able to play it. Those are their aspirations. I've been able to dabble with xCloud here and there, only with certain games, and the service is very promising. So I'm wondering what this move is going to mean for now, I guess, Facebook Gaming. But Cam, what are your thoughts?
I find it interesting, kind of like in the mild interest of the ranking thing, just because the thing that is interesting to me the most is that, Ninja was only like maybe a year that Ninja was exclusively on Mixer.
Yeah.
I feel like at that point where they decided to sign him on, like, I feel like that they would have known that they're kind of in hot water, so that if there was some sort of fallout, that they would have had some sort of, that would have been a part of like Ninja and Shroud's like contract, like, hey, if anything happens where like Mixer like fails and goes somewhere else, like, you are obligated to still go, like, to stay with them on that move, because what do they lose now because of also dropping Mixer, like 30 million off Ninja alone, like,
right?
Something like that. I don't know. That's kind of what I've been thinking about when it comes to this Mixer move. And I think that even though I think it's weird because I don't really follow much of streaming in general outside of Twitch and Mixer, just because I feel like it's the second most talked about platform, even though it is the one that has like failed.
Right.
We have Facebook and we have YouTube gaming as well, but like I have never looked into Facebook gaming at all, and like all I know about YouTube gaming is that they have PewDiePie exclusively, and that's all I know.
Yeah.
Like that's all I know about those two platforms. So, but just knowing how big YouTube is versus like Facebook, like I feel like Facebook gaming is the best option for Mixer to move to.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, we'll wait and see what happens. I think that with Ninja and Shroud, I don't know Shroud very well. I know, I've heard the name, like I know the dude, but I don't know much of his like personality or anything like that.
Yeah.
With Ninja, like I feel that he's just gonna go back to Twitch.
You think so?
Yeah, and which we'll talk about later with Dr. Disrespect and all that jazz. I think that Twitch is going to try and get an exclusive deal with Ninja. We
are going to get to that in a bit.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm thinking is, I guess, let me back up a little bit. I guess I don't want to say definite interest. Mild interest. I guess I'm in mild intrigue as well. Because I had streamed on Mixer some. Obviously, we're on Twitch right now. That's the primary platform that we use. I have streamed on YouTube before, but this was way before they started to implement more things. And then Facebook gaming, I've set up the profile, so I've seen a lot of the back end, and that's really about it. So I feel like this is honestly the best move for Mixer, because even though they had a lot of innovative processes on the back end, they never really changed. That a lot of the great stuff that they had that was the selling point for Mixer, Twitch picked it up. And so like they never offered anything else. And I think that was probably because they knew this was going to come, which is even a little bit more disappointing based off of like how they just kind of sprung it on everyone. But I think as far as Ninja goes, I feel like YouTube is probably going to be one of the best places for him to go, only because Twitch did him dirty. When he initially had to switch over, like they took down his account.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
you're right.
I feel like the bridge was probably burned there, and he's not going to go to Facebook because, let's face it. I mean, Facebook, if you're listening, you probably not, but like you're evil. I'm just gonna say it. Like,
I don't know if I don't know about the full story, whether or not that Twitch did that on accident, like, with the whole showing porn on his channel.
Yeah.
Like that had, like, I feel like that is something that, Twitch didn't know about, or something that like kind of came up, and I feel like that there's something that it's something that can be resolved, especially with a bunch of money.
Yeah.
that
a giant paycheck will fix it all.
Yeah, sorry about that. Here's $30 million. Please stick around, and we won't mess with you anymore as long as you follow our rules.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, Ninja in the past didn't really have any issues with that as far as I'm aware. So,
Right.
But YouTube gaming also makes sense. As far as I know, PewDiePie's the only really big person they got there.
They did get Courage from 100 Thieves.
Oh, they got Courage too? Okay. Yeah, that's definitely possible, and Google has the money to give Ninja that much money. So
I mean, this is all a money game.
And I'm sure, yeah. So what I'm thinking is, I'm sure at this point, like Ninja has been sent offers, and he's just kind of waiting for everyone to give him an offer.
Yeah.
And then he can decide what he wants to do from there. Because regardless of who you are, I feel like even if you're Ninja, even if you're any of these other big streamers, if you move to a different platform, not everyone's gonna move with you.
Yeah. And we saw that. Yeah.
So like, if I was Ninja, even if like Twitch did that weird thing with the porn and all that stuff, whatever it may be, whatever caused that, if say like YouTube gaming offered more money than Twitch, and if it wasn't like that big of a difference, I would still probably go back with Twitch, because I'm like, this is where I got my start.
Yeah.
Like, this is where people know me still. Like, it's kind of, I feel like it would be easier to adjust to than going to another new platform.
Yeah. And let's keep on the discussion of Twitch. We talked about it already, but the next bit of Newsbees news is Twitch has started the ban hammer. Now, this is something like they've needed to do for a long time. They're getting rid of people that suck, essentially. I'm not going to dive too much into it just because we have a lot to get through. But the biggest person, I don't want to say the biggest person that they banned, if you look at just pure numbers, is Dr. Disrespect. Now, Dr. Disrespect has had numerous issues with Twitch on the platform. Not even going to get into his history of the things that he's done wrong, but he's had bans before. But they say that this is permanent. So, like, continuing that conversation that we started with Mixer, how do we feel about this ban? Do we think it's going to stick? I mean, I think it's a great thing. So definitely,
yeah, it's a long time coming. I don't, I like Dr. Disrespect is specifically, he's a fascinating character enough for me where I will if I see that he's in like under the recommended channels, I'll be like, what is this guy up to right now? You know what I mean? Like, what's this guy doing? And sometimes it's like, sometimes it's just like a bunch of nothing. Sometimes it's like really funny just seeing him act the way that he does. Like, he's definitely entertaining, for better or worse. He's definitely an entertaining streamer. And that's what gets views. With his ban, though, I just want to know, like, I'm not saying that he doesn't have a reasoning to be being banned, but like, what is the reason? Like, what is the reason that made Twitch decide, all right, we're banning him? Because
well, his Twitter statement was so vague, because he's like, Twitch has informed me why I am banned, like, end scene, like that was it.
He said that they did inform him, or they didn't inform him? Because the last time I saw is that they said that he wasn't informed.
Oh, I thought that he now is informed. He just doesn't. He hasn't released the reason why yet.
No, I'm pretty sure he said that he. When did that happen? When did you see that? Because I think it was Monday. Right. He said that he doesn't know why he has been banned still. Yeah, Twitch has not notified me on the specific reason behind their decision. Firm handshakes to all for the support during this difficult time. That was on the 27th. Yeah. Which was Saturday. So yeah, I think he's permanently banned. Because I was covering the story for the site as it was happening that Friday night, and he just got banned out of nowhere. And then some Tim the Tat Man, I guess, who's some streamer, he said on his stream that he spoke to Doc, and Doc said, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm trying to get to like speak with Twitch about it, and so he didn't know, and that was Friday night. And Saturday he still said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on." So I feel like might be something where someone I feel like it might be something to do with the sexual harassment, assault allegation stuff, because historically, he was transparent with his audience saying like, "Hey, I cheated on my wife. I'm gonna be better, blah 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 blah." And so it wouldn't be surprising if he still had more of that type of history behind his belt. So for me, I think that it has to I feel like someone messaged Twitch saying like, "Hey, I have a story to share about my experiences with this person," and they took action against it, because they've kind of been doing that after all these allegations have come out throughout the gaming industry. So
right.
That's my best bet.
Yeah.
So Nate, I was a little long-winded.
No, you're good. Nate, anything to add there?
And it's got to be.
No, I just.
Sorry, one last thing I want to say, and I think the reason behind it has to be huge, because they signed an exclusivity deal with him in March.
Oh,
so 3 months later, they're banning their one of two exclusive streamers, being him and Pokimane. That's huge.
Okay,
so it's got to be something
massive,
significant.
then.
It's got to be huge.
Nate, you were saying?
Well, and Cam, you bring up a really good point too, because the timing is just too suspicious for it not to be related with what's been going on. Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where I'm trying to think, because it's the one tweet I saw, they were talking about how it was like some insider was saying that they knew that it was something really sensitive, and that's why they're like, I can't say what it is, but it's very aggressive, very sensitive content. And so if it's something like that, and this person came forward in a way that's a little bit more private, there's so much more discretion that has to happen. And that would, I can't think of anything else what would cause that.
Yeah, there was, I forgot the woman's name, but she tweeted out that I know what the reasoning is. I can't say what it is, but it is serious. And then she ended up saying I deleted the tweet because I didn't want it to be vague or anything like that, or cause any assumptions. But yeah, she said that it was something serious. So I feel like it has to be something regarding that matter. Again, especially if with being an exclusive streamer paid by Twitch, and everything else that he was getting a show and something like that too, something.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
There was a lot in that contract. So, he had a lot in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think we've got a pretty firm understanding. Hype that he's gone, because it was well deserved.
Yeah.
I'm
hyped about this entire thing.
Yeah.
I want to know what happened, because Twitch also doesn't normally speak out when these things happen, but this is one of your exclusive streamers. I feel like you have to at this point. If not, you're being complicit to what's going on, and
exactly.
Yeah. So I feel like I would be surprised if by the end of next week. I'd be surprised if we don't hear anything by the end of next week.
Really?
I feel like at that point, it's been 2 weeks. Yo, tell us what's going on.
We'll see.
Unless there's someone at Twitch is complicit, and they knew that this was something, and it took what's going on in the industry to spark an allegation or something like that to be taken more seriously. Because then the PR nightmare is way, way deeper than we would have thought.
Which, that's something that wouldn't be too surprising, just because obviously this is something that has been happening for a while. We've been seeing this situation play out multiple times in the past weeks. But all right, we have a few more Newsbees items on the docket. I want to jump to, we're going to stick with Twitter. I want to jump to these placeholder accounts. Now, before I get into them, do you two know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Because for me personally, I'm going to say it right now, and I'm going to speak my piece, and I'm going to let you guys have it. I'm so hyped for these. I hope that they're real, because if they're not real, it's going to be bad news bears for me, because these are games that I hold near and dear to my heart. So on Twitter, there were these two accounts that were named Placeholder with a lock, and the @ name were Fable, and the next one was Perfect Dark Game. And the only followers There was 1 follower per account, and it is a Microsoft Xbox employee, and it's registered to a Microsoft email address. So we've heard rumblings for a long time that there's going to be a new Fable game, that there's going to be a new Perfect Dark game. And please feel free to jump in. I can't remember who's rumored to be working on Perfect Dark, but with Fable, it's supposed to be Playground. So the folks behind Forza Horizon.
Yep.
And we know that they have even put out job postings, for someone who is able to, I can't remember exactly how they worded it, but they're looking for somebody to work on an RPG game. So we know that they're working on that style of game, and now we see this. Do we feel like we're getting an announcement soon? Because these are two franchises that, mainly Fable, but these are 2 franchises that mean so much to me as a person and as a gamer. Fable is one of those that, and I mean, I'm not going to give too much away because I'm going to keep talking about Fable later just because of this. Fable is one of those series that has just, at the time of my life of when it came out, it was the perfect game for me. Fable 1, Fable 2, maybe not so much Fable 3 because because of Fable 3. And then even getting into Perfect Dark, I loved Perfect Dark on the N64 way more than I liked GoldenEye. I mean, they were made by the same devs. You could feel that in the DNA of the games. But there was just something about the futuristic story, the weapons, the what was the gun that you could shoot through walls? the Farsight gun? Like, I mean, come on. It was, for me, at that time, it's like they were doing what Insomniac ended up doing with Ratchet and Clank. Having all of these different weapons that you hadn't seen in a game before, and just the creativity there was amazing to me. And then I'll even say it, Perfect Dark Zero on the 360, I don't care what anybody says, that game was a blast. I loved it. But so I am obviously definite hype. I hope that this isn't just somebody, like a disgruntled employee, acting out, messing with our hearts, like with the whole Splinter Cell thing when all that stuff was going on. Like, nothing really came from it. I want something to come from this. But I'm going to send it off to you, Nate. Where are you at with these placeholders?
So I'm definitely intrigued to extreme hype. So I have actually never played a Fable game. I've watched. I know. It was a dark period of my life. I watched my brother play, and that was when the first Fable game came out. That was a period of life where I thought it was too cool for video games, and then I saw the light, but it took some time. So like that was a game that I never played, but I watched people play. Perfect Dark, though, I think you're right, because everyone's like, GoldenEye is OP, GoldenEye is OG, this is the one that we should love. But like, Perfect Dark on the 64 was fantastic, and it's something where I think both franchises could find new homes with improved graphics in this next generation of consoles. I know that means we'll probably never get a Switch version, but that's okay, because I think they need the powerhouse behind it.
You never know. You never know. Because
I mean, The Witcher 3 came to
The Witcher 3 came,
Switch, and it runs fine.
Exactly. And there's been they haven't really said anything else about it, at least to my knowledge, but like last year, 2018, they said that Xbox was coming to Switch in some way, shape, or form. So, like, what is it?
Possible.
Is Cuphead's on Switch? Is Ori on Switch yet?
Yeah, Ori and the Blind Forest is on Switch.
Okay.
Not Will of the Wisps yet.
So, Ori and Cuphead, 2 IPs that were Xbox exclusive now on Switch. So, it could happen. But let me just say, Nate, I know that we said that Fable 3 is not a great game, but this is the collector's edition. And, I mean, just look at the craftsmanship here. I realize that if you're listening to the audio version, this means nothing to you. But this, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, this is for the game that wasn't the best out of the trilogy, but come on. You need to play this game.
I will, I promise.
Cam, I've got a problem. It's your turn.
Yeah, so the Fable thing's happening. The Fable's happening. We already know Fable's happening. That was leaked before Xbox's conference last year, and then Phil Spencer basically confirmed without confirming it that, hey, Playground Games is working on Fable, but without saying Fable.
Right.
And so we know that's happening, and I'm super excited for that. Fable 2 is one of my favorite games, like definitely top 50, top 25 favorite video games.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fable 3 was not it though. So I'm very much looking to Fable. The rumor is Perfect Dark is being made by The Initiative, which is the new Microsoft studio.
Yeah.
That says that they're making quadruple A quality games, and I'm just like, for me, I don't have much of a history of Perfect Dark. I know what they are. I know, like, I've seen them in action. It's just, I would rather you work on a new IP or do something new. I want next generation to be kind of like what it was for PlayStation 4, where we saw these new IPs for the exclusive studios and things like that for Xbox. If both, well, with Fable and Perfect Dark, and specifically Perfect Dark, I think that game needs to kind of be given the God of War treatment, where it's or like the Tomb Raider 2013 treatment, where it's just like, hey, those two games, don't worry about them. This is brand new from the start.
Okay.
This is where we're at. Like, this is the beginning of the story. Let's go from here. Because, like, outside of, like, apparently you care about Perfect Dark a lot, like. But for me, I'm just like, I don't know the story of, like, what happens. Like, I don't know the main character's name. I know she has red hair, right?
Joanna Dark.
Yeah, and I'm just, oh yeah, Joanna Dark. That's right. I did know that. I did know that. But still, it's just like, okay, that's cool, but it just doesn't have the, I don't want to say nostalgia, but like just like the remembrance that other old IPs have that if they got made a comeback, people would pop off about.
Yeah.
So, I think they're real. I definitely think they're real. I don't mind a new Perfect Dark game. It just needs to be done the right way.
Right.
And I would rather it not be made by The Initiative. But that's apparently the rumors right now. So,
do we know what The Initiative has made previously? Because I'm on their site.
That is their first.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, when Phil Spencer announced the studio stuff in 2018, that's when he said, we're making The Initiative, this new studio, quadruple A title games, that type of thing.
And this is with people in Santa Monica, so I remember they picked some high profile people to be a part of the team.
Yes, they did. So yeah, we'll see. Honestly, I'm still hoping that at the Xbox event, this doesn't have to do anything with the placeholders, but I'm still really hoping that at the Xbox event this year, they announced that they picked up WB Interactive. So that means that they own Rocksteady.
They have to.
I would pop off. I would be like, it's over. It's over. They got Rocksteady.
I mean, with Sony having Spider-Man, like, that would be such a power move and a response to that by picking up Batman.
Yeah. They did say that wouldn't give them the rights to Batman specifically. Like Microsoft would not own the rights to Batman games.
Okay.
It's just that but with Rocksteady, they're like, Arkham Knight came out in 2015, and it's still one of the best looking games this generation.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they are such a powerhouse studio, and they've only made like one game before Arkham Asylum, I think they made. So yeah, like, that'd be really great. I would be really, as an Xbox primary user, I would be very happy about that. But regardless, I'm looking forward to what they're dishing out. At the showcase.
Let me backtrack just a little bit before we go to the next item on the docket, because
sure.
I feel the need to explain why Perfect Dark is the game for you. Okay. I'm not, man, I've already said so much that makes it like the killer app, but no, okay, so here's one feature that I loved about Perfect Dark, and that I would love if they would bring it back, because I don't think that there has been a game since that has done this. So obviously we all know the games have co-op. That's a thing. But one of the modes that Perfect Dark brought in was a counter co-op. So you would play through the story. One person would be Joanna Dark, and player 2 would be the NPCs. So whenever they would die, they would respawn as like one of the other henchmen or like the boss person or something like that. You can't tell me that that is not the dopest thing you've ever heard. Imagine, okay, Halo. Imagine with Halo Infinite, they announce you're going to be able to play the campaign as Master Chief, and your friend, to add this new level of complexity, is going to be able to play as a grunt or a hunter or an elite trying to stop you in the campaign.
No.
No?
I don't. No.
Oh. All right.
Because here's the thing for me. It's just like, and it might just be me, but like if I knew I was playing a Halo game where I can play as Chief and I'm not playing as Chief, I'm gonna be mad that I'm not playing as Chief. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, and with like just knowing that I'm not playing the main character in a co-op game like that, it would just irk me. I don't know. But speaking of Halo Infinite, like Halo Infinite definitely is similar to these other games, but more than any, like it needs to be the the God of War 2018 for Halo, because
yes, please.
Halo 4, is my least favorite Halo game. Halo 5 is actually no. I'd probably say Halo 5 is my least favorite campaign. But
never played it.
I like the multiplayer more than 4 for sure. Anyway, 4 and 5 are basically on the same level of just disappointment.
Yeah.
Overall, that I hope that Infinite just completely blows it out of the water. Like it's just like a complete that soft reboot that the franchise really needs, and just go back to basics, make it about Chief and Cortana, and then just go from there. Because like what they did in 4 and 5 is just like it's just not good.
An atrocity.
So Cortana's the bad guy now? Like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, please don't do that.
All right.
So
I already had that spoiled for me last week, so I'm not gonna.
I mean, it's been 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I was told last time. Like Asa, it's your own fault, and I get that. It's my fault. All right, we got a few more items left on the Newsbees docket. We're crushing it through all of these. Dreams is coming to PSVR. I'm not going to dive too deep into. I thought this should have been like out of the gate. This is already a VR compatible title. Not super surprised. I feel like it's perfect fit. I'd probably put a definite intrigue for myself.
For me, I would put like. Here's the thing, Dreams is a really cool game. It's just 100% not for me.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it is in VR, that's cool. In general, that is cool. And I know a lot of people that will enjoy that. I personally don't have a PSVR. I'm looking to get an Oculus Quest for my VR experience because I want to get like PC and all that jazz. So for me, like I would put like mild interest in it, like just for those that do like Dreams. I'm sure that they are excited that this is a thing.
Yeah, people are making cool stuff in Dreams. That's awesome. I can't imagine what kind of stuff people are going to make in Dreams VR. Nate, where do you lie in this?
I don't want to have an unpopular opinion just to have it, but I'm at absolute boredom because I already thought it was a VR game.
Oh.
So like this whole time, because I don't have a PlayStation, so this whole time I was like, oh, it's a VR game and you're in these magical worlds and you're able to do all these things. So I already thought that was a thing. So in my mind, I'm like, where was this day one? So I think it's going to be fun for the people who are really into it, but it almost seems like daunting to try to get into it now because there's just so much to do, and I'm already burnt out from like building an island on Animal Crossing. So
yeah,
I feel like that's beyond my skill level.
Well, on the topic of Media Molecule, I mean, it was the same thing for me with Little Big Planet. Like, I'm not going to get into that level creator. It's too much for me. I'll play the stuff that you have, but that's as far as I'm going to get into it. One last thing on the Newsbees docket, and then we are going to move on. Pokemon Unite. It wasn't the Pokemon announcement that we wanted, but I will be cautiously optimistic. Yes, I know, Cam. We were crying insanely because I want it to be Let's Go Johto.
Are coming back to me.
They might be though. Not anytime soon, but I feel like at some point, Let's Go Johto, it has to be a thing. Like, why would you not with Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee being so popular?
Well, and they hinted at it with the announcement video the week before with all the Pokemon in the background.
Right.
And then we were
Well, here's
just
another.
not that.
Here's another thing that because I was on some podcasts like leading up to the announcement, so I was talking about this to them, that another thing, that reason as to why the Johto Pokemon were being shown off in the background is that this is the 20th anniversary of Johto.
Oh, okay.
So that was the main reason as to, that's what I'm assuming is the reason why they did that.
It's not cool.
But yeah,
Perfect time to announce the new game.
The hype behind it. Well, yeah, then here's the thing. Another thing that went into its favor that there was going to be a Let's Go Johto was that Heart Gold and Soul Silver came out on the 10-year anniversary of Johto. So with it being the 20 years, it's like, oh, it's got to be It's got to be Let's Go Johto. It only makes sense. But it's not. So, but yeah, and then I bought the starter plushies to hype myself up on the announcement, and I'm sad that it didn't turn to be real, but I'm glad that I have these plushies now.
Yeah.
Johto is best generation.
I will 100% back that up. Soul Silver and Heart Gold, I feel like, are the best Pokemon games.
I still like Crystal the most, but I definitely think that Heart Gold and Soul Silver are like they're like the best remakes of any video game.
Yeah.
In my
100%. I tried to find a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Crystal this weekend at a resale shop, and they did not have either of them, and I was crushed.
I think my Game Boy Color might still work. I haven't tested it out in a long time.
My Game Boy Color is in the other room, but I have my Game Boy Color. I just don't know if it works because I don't have batteries in it right now.
Wait, what color is yours?
Pink.
Purple.
I wanted the purple one, but my grandma got me my Game Boy Color for me, so I normally, like, because when I was younger, because I didn't have like enough money for games, like I would trade in my systems when the new system came out.
Yeah,
that's the only way I was going to get money. But I always kept my Game Boy Color, and then once my grandma died, like, a long time ago at this point, I told myself, like, I'll always keep it. So, yeah, because that's like the Game Boy Color is like the system that made me a gamer. So, I totally I will keep that bad boy forever.
Well, there you go. There are all the newsbees for you. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, in the chat. All of these news stories, where do you stand on them? Are you hyped? Do you have any interest at all? Or is it just complete boredom? But we're going to move on to the next section. What's in the box? What are we playing? What is the game that is in your console or PC or handheld of choice? So, who wants to kick it off? What are you guys playing?
So I'm playing. What am I playing right now? I'm playing Persona 5 Royal. I am like at the last palace before the new stuff kicks in.
Okay.
Which I'm looking forward to finally getting to the thick of the new content, because there's like new cutscenes and stuff as you go throughout the game.
Yeah.
But like the big chunk of all the new stuff isn't until you beat the base game, like the original game. So I'm getting there. Probably in like 5 to 10 hours, I'll probably get to that point. I think. Outside of that, I am streaming through the Paper Mario series for the first time.
Oh, sick!
I'm playing through all of them for the first time. I played through the first game and I really enjoyed that. That one holds up pretty well for a 64 game. I started Thousand Year Door, and then my save just vanished, so I have to restart that.
Oh.
And yeah, it hurt. It hurt because I wanted, because I just got done with a dungeon that I really didn't like, and so knowing that I had to go back through that again so quickly, it really bummed me out. Like I didn't want to play video games for like 2 days. I was just bumming around. Like I was so mad about that save being gone out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So I started Super Paper Mario, and I'm actually going to stream a little bit more of that tonight. That's really cool for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I know that a lot of people don't really like Paper Mario after Thousand Year Door because it's not the turn-based combat.
Mm-hmm.
that they fell in love with. But for what Super Paper Mario is, I think it's really cool. I hate that I have to play. I have to use a Wiimote horizontally to play that game.
Yeah.
But outside of that, again, I'm really enjoying it. I did the first 2 chapters on Monday, and I'm gonna do like 2, maybe 3 more chapters tonight. And then what else am I playing? I think that's the main gist. I finished The Last of Us Part 2.
Okay.
I won't go into full details. I just did a spoiler cast for it that was like almost 5 hours long.
Good
yesterday.
gosh.
There's a lot to unpack about that game, but I would say because I'm not a big fan of the first game. That's pretty common knowledge for people that know me. I think it's but I like this the second one overall. Like if I had to put a number on it, I would probably give it like an 8.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Personally, but yeah, I think it's a good game, and there's definitely a lot to talk about regarding that game. For sure.
Yeah. Nate, what are you playing?
So I just wrapped Indivisible, which is fantastic.
So good.
Fantastic.
I reviewed that. I'm sorry. I reviewed that game when it came out, and I gave it a 9.5. And I was telling everyone like, play this game, and no one has. And I'm just like, I'm telling you, it's so good. It's so good. Oh my gosh! Thank you for saying that.
It's like
I feel so validated.
It's and like literally everyone in the world should play this game because it's animated beautifully. The cutscenes are like anime perfection, Magic Girl a little bit. Like it's, oh my god! I put the game down and I didn't realize I beat it until I beat it, and I was like, oh no, I'm done. So I wish I could bottle that up and replay that game over and over.
There's a new game plus. There's a new game plus now. They added a new game
so
plus
that's what
version.
I'm doing tonight. Holy crap! So I beat that.
So good.
And I was like shaken by how that game has stayed with me. It's like a week ago I beat it.
Is it that good?
Yeah.
Asa, it is. I texted you as soon as I started playing it. It's literally one of the best games on the Switch I've ever played. Like,
it was number 4 or 5 on my top 10 last year.
Jeez.
And I think the only reason I had it lower than what it was because I felt like people thought I was stupid for how much I liked it. but no, that game is fantastic. The combat is so good. The traversal feels so great.
It's so fluid, and then you switch to another platformer, and you're like, "What the hell is this?" Yeah,
it feels so great, and the art style's gorgeous, and the story is pretty like. I will say that it's one big criticism for me is that the story is pretty bare bone, like not bare bones, but very straightforward, generic for the first half of the game. But then the second half of the game, you're just like, holy shit!
Yeah,
like it makes you. It's like it's so great because you basically like do all these things thinking that you're because your main character's like pretty stubborn and she's very like kind of full of herself in a sense. And so she like helps all these. She thinks what she's doing is helping people, and you think that too as the player. But then you like go back to these locations later, and then like all shit has hit the fan, and things are even worse. And then like the characters actually like interact with each other, thinking like, we caused this, like we are at fault for this, like things that you don't really see in games where the characters are actually like questioning their actions in that sense. Jeez. And it's so good. It's such a good game.
It's 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10.
I own it.
I would give it 10 out of 10, but it's still very good.
You own it and you haven't played it, Asa?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so I own it. I use that lightly. It's on Xbox Game Pass.
It's on Game Pass. Yeah.
Well, then you have no excuse.
It's very good.
Because of how good I thought that game was, it has been hard to get into any other games in the last week. So I'm trying to play through Bug Fables because everyone said play that game, get hyped for the new Paper Mario, and it's fun and it's enjoyable. But I'm finding myself slipping back into Breath of the Wild, just going and doing all the shrines, and Astral Chain, just because of the fluid combat. But
I'm really looking
it's full platinum. It's a hot mess in the best way possible. But
Here's the thing that I realized recently. Like, I don't think I really have loved any of Platinum's games that I've played.
Really?
Like I started. So like I know it's gonna get hot in here, like with these takes, but like I started Nier Automata more than once, and I'm just like, and it just didn't really click with me. I played like a few hours both times, and I was just like, I didn't really it didn't really stick with me. I thought the mini map was trash, and from what I've heard, like the game very much tells you like deal with it, and people think that is compelling for some reason, and I'm like, no, that's not compelling. That's the excuse for being lazy. Give me a fucking good mini map, like. So because I literally like got lost, and I spent like an hour just I knew where I needed to go. I just couldn't find a way to get there based off the mini map.
Yeah.
And so and so I was like, all right, well, this game is not hooking me enough to deal with this. So I just decided to stop playing. But then that was before it got it got ported to Xbox. And now I'm like, oh, it's on Xbox now. I'm gonna give it another shot. Eventually. So there's that. You know, I haven't played Bayonetta 2, but I played the first Bayonetta, and I'm like, this is fine. Like, didn't really blow me away. I've heard the second one is like much better.
Much better.
So I'm looking forward to playing that eventually. What other? Yeah, but I've heard great things about Astral Chain. Like the person who reviewed it for my site gave it a 10 out of 10, and that's when I was just like, okay. I'm definitely gonna like look into this more, and from what I've been told about Astral Chain is just like, if it hits for you, it hits really well, like really hard, and then if not, you still think it's like a solid, like a really good game overall, but nothing like amazing.
Yeah,
that's basically what I've heard about that. But I'm really looking forward to what Platinum's making next. The next game that Square Enix is publishing by them, the medieval.
Yeah.
Game. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, it's like it's like a medieval RPG, right?
Yeah, but the combat is platinum. It's very obviously platinum.
Is it Godfall?
No.
Shoot.
Well, keep talking. And I'll look it up.
Yeah. I think out of Platinum's games, another one that needs to be on your list is Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance.
It is on my list. I'm actually playing. I started playing through the Metal Gear Solid franchise for the first time, and I played the first two games. I have the Snake Eaters next. And then I'm going to basically I'm playing through all of the main line and Rising Revengeance.
Okay. Are you playing chronologically or are you playing release order?
Release order.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
And
so,
I mean,
so it's second to last in the lineup.
Yeah, it's after 4. It came out before Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's still got a while to get there, but. And Babylon's Fall is the name of the
Babylon
game.
Fall. Okay. Yeah,
that looks really cool. I'm really looking forward to that. And also, I remembered that Platinum was going to make Scalebound, and now I'm sad that Scalebound no longer exists.
Let's not talk about Scalebound. I was so excited for that game.
I'm so sad.
Yeah,
I'm so sad. I was like, yes, because I was one of those day one. Like I was one of those people that even after like Xbox One completely dropped the ball. Right? I was like, I'm still getting my day one Xbox One. I'm still gonna, because I was so into that ecosystem that I was just like, I'm not gonna switch. But and then when Scalebound was announced, I was like, yes, this is gonna be the game that's gonna put Xbox back on the map, and then it got canceled. It hurts so much.
Yeah. So Nate, is there anything else that you're playing?
No, I'm just biding my time for the new Paper Mario.
Yeah. So I am playing The Last of Us Part 2. Last week wasn't last week. Yeah. Time is like a vacuum. So last week I was like 5 hours in. I'm only 10 hours in now. I always use this excuse, but being a new dad, I can only chip in whenever I can. And that's a game that I want no interruptions. I want to sit down. I want to plow through it and get things done. So I'm only about 10 hours in. I just got to Seattle and have gone through certain parts. Are
you still on day one?
Yeah, I'm still on day one.
Okay. You've got a long way
I know.
to go.
That's I hear from a lot of people I've got a long way to go.
I'm telling you, so when you think, I won't go into spoilers, but when you think you're getting near the end of the game, You are at the halfway mark.
Boom.
I'm not joking.
Okay. Cool. I'm still excited for it. I am really enjoying it. I know all of your hot takes on the first one, Cam. I love the first one, despite its quirkiness and its issues. I know that it's a very divisive game, so I'll pretty much leave it there. But I am very much.
It's not a divisive game.
Well, the second one. The second one's divisive.
Oh, the second one's divisive.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, the first one's not divisive.
No.
I'm just in the
Yeah.
vast minority.
Very much the vast minority. But no, the second one's divisive, but I'm enjoying it. I really am.
Yeah.
I've been relatively spoiler-free. It's hard. It's like a minefield out there. People are just posting spoilers left and right. But then other than that, I'm playing Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated.
Oh, I played that. I reviewed that.
Thoroughly loving that. I understand people's criticisms, but it was my favorite SpongeBob game. I feel like as a remake, it's perfect. Like I don't think that it's not a new SpongeBob game, so I don't think it's going to be to current day standards. So I guess in that regard, I understand why people are dissing on it, but it's like you have to give it some leeway, understanding what they're doing with the property.
I agree completely. I gave it a 7 out of 10, and I think that it is like the definition of like a 7 out of 10 game. Like it is good. It does exactly what it needs to do, and those that that want this game are going to enjoy this game.
Yep.
Like that is exactly what it is. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I saw that like GameSpot gave it a 2, and then like Jonathan Dornbush gave it a 5, and I'm just like, I can understand the 5, I can understand that, but the 2, I'm just like, okay,
no.
Like,
See,
no, like I even read the review. I'm like, and I haven't met the person that reviewed it, but I'm like, so I'm not gonna like say anything bad or anything like that. But I was just like, I feel like you were looking at only one side of the coin with this game. So I don't know, but I really liked it, and it's a very easy, like, for those that want to platinum or get all the. I actually was the first person to finish the game on Xbox worldwide.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
yes.
gosh.
When I beat the game,
We've got royalty here.
I got the rare achievement, and it said 0.00% of people have
What?
this achievement, and I was just like, cool, world first.
World's first. So I mean, I agree. I feel like a solid 7 if you're not adding decimals. If you're adding decimals, I mean, I'd probably personally put it like a 7.4, maybe a 7.6, just because of how well they treat the franchise. Aside from the voice actor for Mr. Krabs.
Dude, I wrote about that in my review too. I was just like,
so bad.
I understand, like, okay, so like because they used the audio of the first game, the original, in this game. I'm like, why didn't you get Clancy Brown to redo the lines for Mr. Krabs?
Major oversight. Major oversight.
Exactly. And then like I also mentioned Ernest Borgnine, but like unfortunately he passed away.
Right.
Who voices Mermaid Man?
Yeah.
His voice actor's not it's not him, but man.
And that was not as bad as Krabs. Krabs is it's so bad.
Not, but still, it was very noticeable as someone who like literally says SpongeBob references in normal conversations.
Yep, me too.
Like as if people are going to understand what I'm saying.
What's your number one SpongeBob phrase that you say?
Oh, phrase that. Oh
like
my God.
so for example, I say backing up all the time.
Oh, I do that a lot too. God, a actual line. I don't have an actual line. It's more just like referencing things in just normal. It's hard to explain. Like when I was on Inside Gaming, there was like a story about how Call of Duty was finally cracking down on racism, and my first thought was immediately just like the SpongeBob narrator going, 20 years later.
Yes,
like,
yes.
Yeah, 20 years later, they finally decide racism is bad. Let's fix it. So, that's like kind of the stuff that I think about when it comes to things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they did such a good job at respecting the SpongeBob brand and like adding in like new references from episodes that came out after the game.
Yeah.
Like Handsome Squidward and the caveman SpongeBob meme, like, and things like that.
So
they were
good.
super aware. I thought it was really, really cool and just really loyal to that brand.
And it looks, it's probably, I don't want to say, I'm not going to be as bold as to say it's as good as like the RE remakes, but it looks fantastic.
It looks very nice. So like,
yeah.
But the thing is like people say like, oh, why do the models still look like from a PS2? I'm like, well, because they probably want it to still feel like that game, like it's a remake. You know, it's not like
it's not from the ground up.
Yeah, it's not like Final Fantasy VII remake, obviously,
right?
Or RE2 remake. Like it's different. And I think that they just want it to be as true to the original while giving it a fresh coat of paint. Yeah, if that makes sense.
And then last game that I'm playing, I picked it because it was on sale. Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. Having a ton of fun. I never got to play Super Luigi U, even though Luigi is my number one guy. I mean, I love Luigi to death. So I was really, really excited to pick it up just because it gets bundled with it, and that. People can say what they want about the music. I mean, I get it. I don't know what you call it, but the tap tap, like that's not my stuff. I don't. I don't think the music in the game, when it comes to like the little additives they put in, is that great. But aside from that, I mean, the game's fantastic. It's solid. I mean, it's Mario Brothers. You can't really go wrong. It's solid.
Do you think we're gonna get the Mario collection that's rumored?
God, I hope so.
So,
what I would do for that?
Crap, I had this whole theory about it, but I feel like it's going to happen.
Oh, 3D World is the best 3D Mario game, straight up.
Ever. Like,
it is straight up.
That's the only reason to like keep a Wii U in your house is that game.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like have you played 3D World?
Not all the way through.
Yeah, that game is so good. Like because I'm not a big Mario guy in general. I'm more attuned to the like spin-offs, like the Mario and Luigi franchise. Like Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga is my favorite Mario game, period. And which was remade for the 3DS. If you have a 3DS, you should definitely get that game. But like 3D, so I don't really care about the 3D Marios that much, but 3D World, I was like, this game is absolutely phenomenal. It is so good. I think it's gonna get the deluxe treatment, similar to
I hope so.
You know, what is it? New Super Mario Bros.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that'll be like its own $60 thing, and they'll add like new levels and like new characters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then the collection will be more like Sunshine, Galaxy 1 and 2, maybe Mario 64, like that type of thing. Because there were rumors that it's going to be 64, Sunshine, and just Galaxy 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, that seems really odd because Galaxy 2 also has most of the levels of Galaxy 1, apparently.
Right.
I never played Galaxy 2. I just heard that this is true. So I'm just like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it has to be a thing because at this point, like, first off, Nintendo, where's the Direct? Just give us the Direct already.
Seriously.
Yeah. But also, I feel like it's just going to be a light year in general for Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're gonna get Bayonetta 3 this year. Finally, I think that's coming out this year. And I think we'll get that new Pokemon Snap game this year too. But like outside of that, what else is coming? Like,
I mean, Breath of the Wild 2 is supposed to be coming, but I don't think that's happening.
I feel like it's too late in the year for that one to get dropped.
I think that's going to come out spring of 2022.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say 2020. It's not coming out 2021.
I think holiday 2021 at the very latest, or very earliest, at the very earliest.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be around the same time as Breath of the Wild 1 was last, when that came out.
Yeah.
So, and the longer they take, the better, because like, I'm not a big fan of Breath of the Wild, but I really want to be. Like, I've tried. I want to try and restart fresh and have that game hook me. But when I played it the first time, I was just like, this is really boring. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Man,
more hot takes from me.
These are. Are they even hot takes? I feel like they're just personal jabs at this point. Killing me. Killing me right now.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not a big Zelda fan in general. I didn't grow up with Zelda.
Okay. I can respect that.
I've played Wind Waker, and I've played
That's all you
Four
need.
Swords. And the only reason I haven't played any of the other Zeldas. Oh, actually, I started Twilight Princess. I did start Twilight Princess. And the reason I haven't played any of the other Zeldas is because they all have spiders in them, and I cannot play games with spiders in them.
Okay.
Because I legitimately get terrified.
Oh, really? Even in games?
Yes, I have severe arachnophobia. Yes, I cannot, like, in most video games that there are spiders, I cannot play them.
Wow. Okay.
So was it Uncharted 2 or Uncharted 3 that would have been like your nightmare?
Those were small, so it didn't really bother me.
Okay.
But, like, big detailed spiders, like the Skulltulas, no good. So that's why I haven't really played any other Zelda games. I want to play like more of the 2D Zeldas, even though I'm more interested, quote unquote, in the 3D ones. Because like Link to the Past is on Switch Online now, so I can play Link to the Past, which I've heard is, a masterpiece. And then A Link Between Worlds, which is the sequels on 3DS.
Oh, Link Between Worlds, so good. Just jump to that.
I heard it's really good. I've heard it's
Minish
really good.
Cap is good if you pick it up in the eShop too. That's a cute short one.
Yeah.
The 3DS eShop?
Yeah, it should be in the 3DS eShop. Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know. I legitimately didn't know if you meant that or Switch, because I feel like if it was on Switch, I would have known that. So.
I would have been big news if it was on Switch.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just for me, like, I don't want to go into my full-on depths about the about Breath of the Wild, but my main thing is like I hate the stamina meter and like how much you have to stop running and then wait for it to recharge and run again. That's annoying as shit. And I also think the combat like is really like I just don't like how it controls. I don't like how it feels in combat. I know that the physics engine and the things that you can do in that game, like if you really abuse the systems, that's cool. But like for me, I'm not going to be doing that. I'm just going to do normal combat, and I don't think the combat is very great for an action adventure game. So that's why those are like the two big reasons as to why I'm not a big fan of the game. So I feel like it just takes too long to get across maps, across the map, and the combat is just not great for me.
Yeah. We're not going to dive into Breath of the Wild too much deeper because I'm preparing my
I'm ready
my
to
rebuttals.
Throw hands. I'm ready to throw hands.
We're gonna have to. I don't even know what to call it. We're gonna just have to have a discussion. It's pure podcast, nothing but Breath of the Wild. We just need to hash it out, duke it out. Cage match.
The motorcycle makes you move faster across the map.
Yeah, once you get the motorcycle.
Okay, we're gonna move on because
I know that I'm just because I'm reading the chat too. Like I know that it has the potential for complex combat, but from a general standpoint, it's not. It's really not that case, and it does not. I don't like the control scheme and things like that. That's so. I know that the potential is there, but I'm just saying in general, it's not. I don't think it is for like a general user that is just trying to get through this game, if that makes sense.
So let us know what you're playing. Put it in the comments below. Put it in the chat on the Twitch stream. We're going to move on to Make It or Break It, where we get a prompt from you all in the community, and we're going to make a game off of that prompt. And the prompt we were given for this week is Avatar: The Last Airbender. So we are going to make our dream Avatar game. We're going to pretend that those THQ ones don't exist. The Platinum Korra one doesn't exist. And we're going to make our dream game. So here are the things that we need. We need a title. We need a developer, publisher. How's it going to control the basic storyline? And then once we have all that, it's then up to you in the community. I want some box art. So there are tons of talented people. Give us the box art once we're finished. Tag us on Instagram, Twitter, or wherever you put it, because I know you got some ideas.
I'll have to ask. Yeah, I'll have to ask Alice.
Yes. Ask Alice to come up with something.
That'd be so cool. So okay, yeah. So. Oh man.
You kick it. You're the guest. You kick it off. Let's build this game.
Oh man. Well, here's the thing. Like, are we doing an Aang game? Are we doing a Korra game? Are we doing a new Avatar game? What are we doing here? Like, that's what I'm kind of thinking right now.
I think we should do in between. So, like, book 4, they rumor that's happening after the live action series is done. So
no way.
Yeah, the writers It was an IGN story. The writers confirmed that they are going to do book 4 after they're done with the live action Netflix series.
Like animated?
Animated book 4. It's happening.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh god, I'm trying not to pop off right now.
Let's go.
Woo! Shit.
That's the game.
Exciting as fuck. Okay, all right.
Book 4. We're gonna give them the ideas right here.
I almost feel like it could, and I don't want like my love of Indivisible to cloud this, but like how Indivisible is set up with its combat, if you had a different bending style for each of those 4 buttons and different characters, so it was more of like that party journey, that could be really, really enjoyable. But again, I think we should go big or go home.
Yeah. So first off, I would want this game to be made by Rocksteady.
Rocksteady? Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Rocksteady would be really cool.
I want to throw CyberConnect 2 into the ring. So
what have they actually made though?
The Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series is phenomenal.
No, it is, but I want something better than that. Like, do you not want a better Naruto game than the Ninja Storm? You know what I mean?
But Ninja Storm was so okay.
It's great, but it's like never. It's always like an 8 out of 10 game at best. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I want something that's going to be like a 9.5, potential for 10. Like, this is what we're going for. Go big or go home.
Then can it be Rocksteady? They're the lead on it, but can CyberConnect 2? Can they help with like some of the cutscenes? Because they made beautiful cutscenes for Naruto. They managed to use in-game engine to make it look like the anime. That's all I'm saying. Because what I imagine is an arena brawler type style when it comes to a boss fight or something like that. But then you have the open world like Arkham City or Arkham Knight, where you're going through Bossing Say, or you're going through the Fire Nation, or wherever you're at. So they handle the main grand scheme of things, but just let CyberConnect do those cutscenes, because you know that they're going to give them the polish that they need. What?
I feel like level 5 could do a really good job. They did a fantastic job mimicking
Ni no Kuni.
The Miyazaki. Yeah. Like with Ni no Kuni, they did a great job, and that is a game that truly plays like you are playing one of his movies.
I would be okay with that.
See, here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I feel like just knowing a controller and how many buttons there are available, I don't know if there would be a way to work where you could cleanly cycle through the 4 different elements in combat.
Okay.
So what I'm thinking is that potentially, and like kind of like pulling back from the Rocksteady as developer, because I don't know how it would work. It would be cool if it was turn-based combat, or something along the lines of Final Fantasy VII Remake's combat.
Okay, I would be okay with that.
Where there's more like,
I want to feel I want to feel visceral action.
Yeah,
I want to feel like more in control of it.
Like if it was Rocksteady, but then like that kind of style that Square Enix did with Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I think I could see it being like something where it's after. See, if they didn't actually have like a straight up comic book about it, it would be really cool if it was like a game based off of like Aang and Zuko and all them trying to find Zuko's mom.
Yes. Ooh, yes.
That would be so cool. But they already like made a comic book about it, so it's like, you know. But I think it would be more it would be interesting if it was like kind of like Star Wars, where there's a big portion of the Fire Nation soldiers that like aren't cool with Zuko taking control of becoming the new Fire Lord, and like wants to continue trying to do what Lord Ozai wanted.
Okay.
And so you're just trying to take down those sectors.
Yes.
and it's kind of like has some Shadow of Mordor, like the
Yes.
The
system,
Nemesis system. Yes.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
And they just start getting stronger and stronger benders, more armor. They
Because a big part is as to why like Aang was that powerful in the fight against Ozai was because of the comet. Like I don't think he would be as like, he's still like the Avatar. Like he still can control all 4 elements at once in the Avatar state. But like, I don't know. I still think that there is potential there.
Yeah.
That would be really cool. It would also be really cool if they did something similar with. No, it wouldn't really work that way. I would say. Never mind. I was thinking more like kind of like the first season of Korra, where there's the benders versus non-benders.
Yeah.
But you'd be taking down all non-benders. It wouldn't be fun like that.
Right.
Who
are we playing as?
I think
I feel like they're
Aang,
right?
right?
Play as Aang?
I want to play as Aang, but I want you to kind of also be able to split into different characters just for like some side quests. Kind of like when you could play Mary Jane in Spider-Man.
Okay.
Where you would like split into her and the play style changed completely. Or how you could be Catwoman
I didn't really
for a
like
little
those
bit.
missions.
But did you like the break,
mind.
the perspective break? Like,
It was fine. I don't know.
I think we could do it better
back
though.
And you relived some of the memories of the former avatars though. Like Avatar Kyoshi, like if you like went to
that
like,
would
the
be
spirit
dope.
world and then you got like a very like Assassin's Creed style where you then got to kind of like play through her a little bit
Yeah.
to then unlock a part of the story that's future.
So here's the thing, like pretending that Korra didn't exist. Let's just pretend that Korra doesn't exist here because I want to blow your guys' minds here.
Do it.
So let's talk about season 1 of Korra really quick. So this was my big theory about Amon when y'all are gonna flip when you hear this. When the theories as to who is Amon, like blah 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 blah. So my theory was that Amon was the other Avatar because Aang technically dies. Aang is technically dead at the end of book 2 for a few minutes. And a baby could have been born at that point, passing on the Avatar state, the Avatar to another person. But then
Buffy the
Aang
Vampire Slayer.
and then Aang gets resurrected from Katara with the spirit water.
Yeah.
So then there is this other Avatar, and also Amon is older than Korra, which also checked out there with that theory.
Dang.
So like, imagine if that was just like, oh, this is another Avatar that exists. That like, oh, that would be so cool. It doesn't work, but it would be so cool.
So it could be
or another idea that would that I also thought would be really cool, and I think would be the best way to do this is make it an original story after Korra. Korra's gone. I would really like it if it was next up is Earth, right? So
yeah.
So the Avatar is an Earthbender and has a twin sibling that isn't a bender. So it's like literally that interesting dynamic is like, hey, I'm a twin of the Avatar. I ain't got no powers, but my and like kind of see how that relationship like narratively affects each other. I think that'd be really interesting from a story perspective, and then that there's just like this new threat that like needs to be stopped. The threat doesn't really matter. Yeah, we can figure like that's not what I'm really worried about, but more just like I think that would be really interesting because I think that earth bending would be like a good starting element. Especially because most of the not most, but like most of the world is like the Earth Kingdom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just kind of travel throughout, like learning the different elements while this other, while this threat comes up and things like that. I feel like if we were to make an Avatar game, the best way to do it would be something after either completely before Aang that is never spoken of with an Avatar before Aang, or a new Avatar after Korra.
I like the idea of an original story. So let's go with boom, here's our story. It's the twins. So one's the Avatar, one is not. That still allows us to play as Aang and Korra if we were to do flashback sequences. If they're going into the Avatar state and, hey, teach me so-and-so, whatever, we'll be able to go back and play those moments. So that'll still give that fan service moment. So
here's the thing, there wouldn't be any Aang because remember the cycle was broken with Korra.
Oh, shoot.
So
yeah.
So it'd just be Korra.
Just Korra. Okay, so then...
But then she could talk about Aang.
She could talk about Aang, and then for the people who really want to play as Aang, DLC. We'll figure it out later. DLC, you can play as Aang in that. Rocksteady's making it. The way that it's going to play is going to be like Final Fantasy VII Remake, so then we can be able to jump in between the different bending styles without it being too clunky. And we still get the visceral action. Now, title. What do we want to call this thing? It's going to be too hard, I think, to name the characters, to go through all that. So kind of like how...
No, we don't have to do that.
Yeah. I'm thinking something a la Twin Snakes, the Metal Gear Solid.
Damn it, that would be... that there's an actual... similar name for a video game that would be kind of repetitive. That I was thinking like maybe like Avatar, the Tale of Two Brothers or Tale of Twin Brothers or like
Tale of Avatar, Tale of Twin. I like it. I know you're talking about Tale of Two Brothers. Screw them. They don't matter right now. Yep. Shoot, what is an animal that we can pick from the Avatar series that would be good to be the Tale of Twin so-and-so? I don't want to say flying bison, or maybe. No, it's Earth Kingdom though, so it can't be.
Yeah, no, it's the Badgers that are the original Earthbenders.
The Badgermoles? Tale of Twin Badgermoles?
The Tale of Twin Badgers?
Okay. So Avatar...
Tale of Twin Badgers?
Avatar, Tale of Twin Badgers. There it is, chat. Put it in the comments. Alice, if you're listening, if you're watching, we want some dope cover art, please. You're one of the best artists I know. Please go check out Nerf Alice on Twitter.
Yes.
And Instagram.
I feel like if we did Tale of Twin Badgers, though, it would the other brother would have to at least be an Earthbender. I'm like, that's cool. That's still fine. I still think that there's still like an interesting narrative perspective there. We're just like, hey, I'm like, one's an Avatar and one's not, and then they're twins, and it's just like, and I think that would be really interesting, because there would be instances where like, I feel like you'd have to switch over and play as the brother to save or to help, and like just kind of that chemistry of like, even though I'm the Avatar, I need you to succeed. Like we need to work together to stop this threat. So that'd be really cool. Yeah, I would love to see. Okay, who's publishing it though?
Publishing.
Are we just getting WB Interactive to do it, or like, or WB?
Let's do WB under the assumption that they've been picked up by Xbox, because I want them to have enough love and treatment without the push that I feel like the Arkham series got with Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight. I felt like some things were a little bit rushed by WB on Rocksteady. Well, and then Origins was WB Montreal. I don't remember, but
yeah, Origins was WB Montreal.
Yeah, so then it can be WB, but under the moniker of Xbox Game Studios. And one last thing I want to throw in. How about this? The twin who's not a bender, much like Sky High, the Disney original movie.
Oh yeah,
twin gets their powers like at the end of the story, or towards the end, and now they're like, oh shoot, I'm a bender now. What? Something like that. Or is that too much? Or do we just leave them non-bender the entire time?
I think that if we're going with Tale of Twin Badgers, they gotta be an Earthbender, because the Badgers' point is like, oh, these are Earthbending brothers. You know what I mean? Like.
All right. So, yep. I'm with it. With it. So
that'd be cool.
There it is. Let us know. Let us know your thoughts on the game, if it should really happen. WB, Rocksteady, Xbox. Come on, we made the game for you. There you go. You're welcome. Let's get it done. Our emails are on our Twitters. I think you can talk to us. We'll consult for you.
Creators of Avatar, hit us up.
Yeah. You guys too. You're important. All right, we're gonna get into my favorite.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to jump into this section. Typically, it's going to last a long time, so let's try to keep it as tight as possible. Sure. But we've been having an amazing time. My favorite, we're going to talk about our favorite RPG. I talked about it at the top of the show, but the RPG that I want to share, my favorite RPG, Fable 2, on the Xbox 360.
So good.
Man, when that game came out, I was already a big fan of the first one, so I knew that I was going to play the second one, but I didn't know it was going to impact me as much as it did. Like, I'm not going to dive too deep into it, but just where I was at that point in my life, it was one of those games that the story was so personal for me. Just feeling that sense of worth, that feeling that weight on my shoulders that I had to bring this band of people together who they didn't think that they were worthy either, and they ended up filling the shoes of the people that were destined to be the saviors of the world, and then the dog companion. Being a huge dog person myself, that was actually one of the biggest losses that I had growing up around that time. Was my dog of a long time passed away, and that game helped me cope through that. Fable 2, one of my all-time favorite RPGs, but I'll pass it off to whoever wants to share.
So I will say, and I have to first of all say that this is my first Dragon Quest game. But Dragon Quest XI was fantastic. Like, I thought I knew what RPGs were. I thought I had a list of RPGs that were my favorite, but I just finished the main campaign of that, and it is one of the best games I've ever played. Story beat wise, it took a little bit of time. It took like 10 hours to get into it, but as soon as I hit that mark, I was hooked. It was, someone had left a review or wrote a review that said, it's like if you just play a little bit each night, it's like reading a book. And like reading a chapter of a book, and it's a really good book. And so that was kind of how I took the approach. So it took a while to beat it, but I am saving the post-game content for later because I was so amazed with how it was. It just visually was fantastic. It was hilarious. So I can't believe I've never played a Dragon Quest game before, but it was 10 out of 10 for me.
I'm actually looking forward to playing Dragon Quest XI because I didn't play all of the demo, but I played part of it, and because I love JRPGs. That's my favorite genre of video games, and I thought the game felt slow to me. Like the combat felt slow for a JRPG. Like it just felt off, and it just feels very different as a JRPG compared to other JRPGs. And I think it's just more like that it's giving that traditional JRPG experience, but in a modern light in 11 from what I played. So I bought it. I'm looking forward to playing it. But I've heard great things, and your love for the game makes me like want to jump in again, like wants me to be like more open-minded and be like, okay, let me give this some more time to see that it hopefully clicks with me. So yeah,
I think you'll like it. And the thing too is like once you hit that 10-hour mark, the pacing does pick up. And I will say, and it took me 10 hours into it, that you could fast forward the combat so it moved much faster. Because I was like, that's the one part where I'm like, you see someone move, and you see someone move, and and it made the game so much faster. But yeah, once you hit, there's like a certain story beat, and you're just like, oh, this is not at all what I thought this was going to be.
Yeah. So Cam, favorite RPG?
Favorite RPG, favorite game of all time, one of the best games ever made. Kingdom Hearts 2, baby. Kingdom Hearts 2, baby.
Yes.
This game is a absolute masterpiece. It still holds up today, and there like literally the only criticism I have to this game is that Atlantica sucks. And even then, like, okay, you don't really even have to do Atlantica if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, you can skip it. That's fine. Which is awesome. This story is so I think this story is so powerful because it's a story that's not even about Sora, but you're playing as Sora throughout the entirety of the game. This game is about Roxas, and going through this game and like Sora like having no idea who Roxas is, who these people are, and just him learning everything and finding Riku and finding Kairi and like and even by the end of the day, like not even for Sora but for us, like the player, we realize like this game is about Roxas. The reason why you play, like, you know, this game got so much crap and still gets so much crap about how you play as Roxas in the beginning of the game, a character that is never introduced, and then like what am I doing here? Who am I doing? Like, and it's just like you obviously haven't finished the game, or you don't understand what this game is supposed to be about. You know, like when Axel sacrifices himself for Roxas or for Sora, but it's really for Roxas, and like Sora just doesn't understand why he did it, and it's just like, oh, my soul, and the combat. Are you kidding me? The combat in this game is still like 10 out of 10.
It's
10
so
out of
cool.
10. It is so polished. It is so like, I'm so sad that the team that made this game did not make Kingdom Hearts 3, unfortunately, because it's perfect. It's so great. It holds up to this day. Like playing, like, no matter, the thing that's great about this game also is that like the harder you because I beat this game critical level 1. Like I beat this game like outside of using no equipment and keep doing just Kingdom Key. I have beaten this game the hardest way you can beat this game.
Oh my gosh.
And there were some fights that were like extremely hard, but it was so great, and it actually like it's where the combat shines the most, because it doesn't make you, but like it like helps you think of like options that you wouldn't normally do in your normal playthrough of Kingdom Hearts, where it's just like, oh, I can just, you can kind of just press X to win. Like you can do that, but there's so much more to the combat than just that. Like the reliance of like using your summons in when you play on harder difficulties is much more aware, and like using magic and all those things, that it has such a intricate system for its combat, and the story is great. Like the performances are great. Like the worlds you go to are the best suite of worlds that you can go to in a Kingdom Hearts game. It's a 10 out of 10 game. It's my favorite game of all time, and it still holds up 16 years later.
Dude, so good. So good. Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments below. What is your favorite RPG and why? You know, if you haven't played any of these games, we highly suggest that you check them out based off of our stories. But we want to know, again, what is your favorite? Because maybe we need to check those out too. We've got one more section before we sign off. It is time. It is time. I hope you guys are ready for Big Bet Trivia. I still have no idea what the prize is going to be at the end of the season, but you can play along too. You can pick this up. It's the ultimate video game trivia. Really, if you're not a massive video game nerd, this might not be for you, because there are some deep cuts. But we've got one question, 2 contestants. If you're on Team Nate, hashtag or exclamation mark Nate, I don't know what the command is. Put that in the chat. Hashtag exclamation mark Cameron. Put it in the chat. Let us know who you're rooting for. Here's the question. I hope you guys are ready. Let me know when you've got the answer. What is the name of the witch in Banjo-Kazooie responsible for kidnapping Banjo's sister, Tootie?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Shoot.
I don't know, and I'm not gonna Google it like a monster, so I don't know.
I could draw her. Like I could draw the little.
I know what she looks like. I know what she looks like. I just don't know her name.
All right, we're going to do three clues. I'll tell you right now, it is, the witch is large and green, steals youth, and becomes slender and youthful, but still green. Does that help? Does that visual help? No?
No. God bless it.
No.
Next
question.
This is going to be a terrible one, because I feel like it just gives it away. But her name rhymes with Matilda.
Matilda?
No, what? Are you kidding me? I thought that was a softball clue.
Gratilda?
Did you say, wait, say it again?
Gratilda?
Gruntilda.
Gruntilda. Oh, I said Gratilda.
Gratilda? Oh, well, crap, I gave away the answer.
No!
It is Gruntilda. I think it's safe to say that there were no points to be awarded this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a closest to horseshoes, whatever games do that. But you guys were close, kind of. I'm slightly disappointed as a Banjo fan, but hey, you know what, dude?
Hey, I have respect for Banjo. Like, I think Banjo gets a lot of hate, but
Too
I
much.
just haven't really played them. It's just I want to.
That's
I just
fair.
haven't
That's
yet.
fair. Put it on the list. Put it on the list of games to get back to.
You
But-
think we're gonna get a new Banjo announcement at the Xbox?
Yes, I feel like they've hinted towards it enough. They know that they did Banjo dirty with nuts and bolts. Not that the game was necessarily bad, it just wasn't what Banjo was supposed to be. I think a lot of the ideas that they introduced were good. They're not Banjo.
Do you think Rare's gonna make it?
No, I don't think it's. I feel like they're gonna reach out to Platonic.
Oh, but it's got to be Rare, man.
I feel like, but I thought Rare was working on something else. The only reason I don't say Rare is because I thought that they're busy on
they're
another
doing
project.
Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
like, as far as I'm aware, I don't think they're making anything else.
Well, then, if they're not working on anything else, obviously I want it to go to Rare. But if it's not going to go to Rare, then I feel like Platonic, ex-Rare people, that's going to be the next best bet.
Okay, that's
But
fair. Nickelodeon.
We're running super low on time, but I don't want to cut things too short. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to jump to out this month, get that out of the way. I want to talk about our favorite RPGs. So we're going to try and keep it tight. But coming out this month, in the month of July, we've got Iron Man VR, Catherine Full Body for Switch, Bloodstained Curse of the Moon 2, Deadly Premonition 2 for the Switch, Death Stranding's coming to PC, Ghost of Tsushima's coming to PS4, Paper Mario The Origami King coming to Nintendo Switch, Destroy All Humans Remake, Skater XL, and Rocket Arena. If there are any other games that are coming out that we didn't mention, please let us know in the comments. What are you excited about? But let's just run around the panel really quickly. Out of those list of games, pick the one that you are the most hype about in July.
Paper Mario Origami King.
Paper Mario, Cam?
I gotta go Ghost of Tsushima. I gotta go Tsushima, but I will be getting Origami King day one, just like Ghost of Tsushima.
Yeah. I'm going to go Ghost because I'm a big Sucker Punch guy. I'm a huge Infamous fan, and I can see the DNA whenever I've seen gameplay trailers. And Ghost just looks amazing. So, all right.
When they announced that black and white mode, I was like,
Oh,
yes.
yeah. Oh, yeah. When I saw that Brian Altano put up his tweet, he's like, I'm playing in that mode. I'm like, sold. Done.
Yep.
Sign me up.
I was gonna say, just if you don't have a PS4, you should get Catherine for Switch, because that is a fucking great game. That's my favorite puzzle game.
Oh, yeah. And it's made by Atlas, the folks who
Yeah.
do Persona. We are going to wrap up the show. We got a few things in the sign-off. We need to talk about our community spotlight, where we highlight somebody in the Borderline family. In today's episode, we're going to highlight TimesArc. He is a streamer, twitch.tv/TimesArc. Make sure you check him out. He streams things such as Overwatch, World of Warcraft. He's a ton of fun. He's a great community member, so please go support him. Cam, it's to you. What do you want to promote? Tell the people what they should be checking out.
Yeah, so you can follow my writing over at DualShockers.com. You can follow me over on Twitter at the Cinephile Guy, and you can follow DualShockers on Twitter at DualShockers, and I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv/the Guy. I'm currently playing through Super Paper Mario. That's my main thing, and then every once in a while I'll like stream like maybe some Warzone or Persona 5, as I'm playing through Persona 5 Royal. So yeah, and then I think after I'm done with Super Paper Mario, I'm going to be playing through the Kingdom Hearts franchise
Yes.
again on Xbox for the first
Very
time.
cool.
I'm really looking forward to doing that, and I'm gonna be playing those all on the hardest difficulties possible, including critical level 1, no equipment, Kingdom Key only for Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm really looking forward to trying that and raging extremely hard.
So there you go. Please make sure you check out Cam everywhere that he's at. Nate, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at the Nate Pretzel, like the food, and that's where I'll be.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at agreenriver07. But if you want to follow anybody, please follow Borderline Entertainment on all social media platforms. That way you can stay in the know when we've got episodes coming out, when we've got video game streams happening, and then obviously just when we're talking about anything games, nerd, anime, comics, whatever it is. We are out there, so please make sure that you stay tuned. Guys, it's been a good time. Cameron, thank you so much for being a part of this episode today.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you for inviting me on. This was a lot of fun.
And hopefully, we talked about it last week, but we might do like a giant reunion show with all the guests, and just because this is just the most fun, and we just want to have everybody come back and just do one giant Zoom call. But anyways, thank you everybody so much for watching. We hope you have a wonderful week, and above all else, be well, Borderline family.